Now imagine you sat down and spent 60 minutes on writing out a script, and that script ended up gaining you 8.9 million views and more than 500,000 followers. That is exactly what happened to me around 3 weeks after uploading that reel. Just accepting that it simply didn't perform. Just to realize that I gained 30,000 followers overnight, and I gained 400,000 followers in the next 2 weeks still from that reel. Now, I just have one goal with this video. All I'm gonna do is to give you the concise framework as to how we're hitting these insane numbers like 500,000 followers through one reel. And throughout, I need to break some common beliefs and explain why advice like providing value or staying consistent or posting once a day is absolute BS and doesn't work. So for reference, I amassed more than 700k followers on Instagram when I was 18, and when I was 20, I scaled the world's #1 health school community to more than 80k a month in 60 days. And if you don't believe me, there's actually proof inside the link in the description. So let's get to the source. How did I gain 8.9 million views on one singular reel? And how did I make every 17th viewer follow me? You see, there's one thing that all my brands and all of my clients' brands blowing up actually have in common. And that is that they built a brand that is in demand, but that hasn't been met before. So a lot of people out there think that they're gonna get views if they just copy the Iman Gadzhi style or the Daniel Dalen style. But if you look at the best performing Iman Gadzhi video that reached more than 10 million views, that was literally a PowerPoint presentation.
So let's get started. So there are 3 reasons why this business model works so well. Number 1, it is a beginner-friendly business model.
So what is it instead? You see, Ogilvy, one of the greatest advertisers in the world, basically broke this down once in his lifetime. He said, you can show the same advertisement to the same mass of people up to 7 times until that advertisement starts to lose its effect. Advertisement is content. Organic content is also content. So where's the connection here? If you're going to use the same editing style as everybody else does, and you're going to use the same perspectives on ideas as everybody else does, somebody who's going to look at your video is just going to be fatigued and think, oh yeah, no, I've heard that like 10 times today going through my feed. I'm not going to listen to that again. So how do you find something that's in demand, hasn't been met before, that you can actually provide? You see, Carl Jung, one of the founding fathers of psychology, describes this as the wounded healer archetype. The wounded healer archetype is basically a concept that describes that human beings will always strive to become the perfect big sibling that they would have needed around 5 years ago, which means you today might be the perfect sibling for you from a couple of years ago. You solve problems, overcome challenges, and solve issues that other people are standing in front of right now. That is the exact thing where you should harness your idea from. That is the exact thing that I harness my idea from my 8.9 million view video. And it is also what we use for our marketing strategies, and it is also the advice that we give to all of our clients. So something that I learned from Iman Gadzhi and his C-suite team, because I'm actually enrolled in a program that is, I think, accessible to 70 businesses globally in the whole world, which I'm pretty lucky of to have access to, is that they test out like tens if not hundreds of new ideas and new niches every single month. You aren't supposed to post once a day just to put out shit. The purpose is so that you can test out so many ideas as possible, so that you find out the one thing that performs and you just do that thing over and over again. And by the way, I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg here right now. If you actually want to find out more, I have a link in the description that is all about how I scaled my own personal brand and how I scale the personal brands of other people. As I said, we reached 80k a month with one of our clients in 2 months. And if you're interested in scaling your info business or your personal brand, you can just click on the link in the description, send me a DM, and we'll have a conversation. So the third thing is actually emulate then innovate. Now, emulating means that you take an idea and that you use that idea by changing it and using it for yourself. Now, that really doesn't make sense, does it? Because I just told you to be unique, and now I'm telling you to copy ideas. I want to give you an example. My most viral video that had 8.9 million views is not my own idea. I took it from somebody else, but I had a unique perspective. And I saw someone inside the self-improvement niche talk about how doom scrolling is going to prevent you from being present in the moment. Now, I didn't care about being present. What the fuck does that even mean? I cared about not letting down the people who I told that I'm going to achieve something in my life, which means that is the thing that triggered me. I use the exact same idea of doom scrolling, but instead I just had my own unique perspective to it by talking about letting down your loved ones instead of not being present, because I really didn't care about it. And that is how you're supposed to emulate new ideas, because you can innovate new ideas, of course, if you're a very creative person, but if you would be a creative person, then you wouldn't watch this video. In fact, you're probably a very analytical person, and you care more about data, statistics, and analytics than creativity, because it's simply not your thing. And now the fourth and most important thing is actually, how did I make every 17th person follow me? There is a very simple sentence that a good friend of mine told me, actually. He told me, people hate being sold to, but they love to go shopping. I want to tell you a story. Listen, if I am going to go into a mall and inside that mall I'm looking for new pants, then if a salesman walks up to me and he shows me a jacket and he tells me, oh yeah, this is an amazing jacket, you should buy that jacket, it is out of cotton and it is perfect for the weather, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd say, move out of the way, piss off, I don't want to buy your jacket. Because I didn't come in order to buy a jacket, so I hate being sold to. But maybe that jacket was perfect, maybe it looked amazing. If I would have seen that jacket behind a window inside a store, I might have actually gone into that shop because I made the own decision to go into that store and buy that jacket because I like what I see. People like to make their own decisions, and that is the same thing on Instagram. People don't go on Instagram in order to follow your CTA, buy your product, hop on a call, or even follow you or comment on your video. They want to be entertained, inspired, and they want to learn. You see, you are not the one to judge whether buying your product, signing up to your newsletter, following you, or commenting on your video is a good idea. They are, your viewers are. Instead of pitching them to comment on your video or follow you, make following you or commenting on your video or even buying your product or hopping on a call with you the natural conclusion inside their mind. So how do we do that? Let me give you an example.
Listen, I've got time.
Okay, so let's break it down.
I have been forced into a bet with my team. We're about to hit 10 million subscribers on YouTube, which is our biggest milestone ever, thanks to all of you. And we want to have a massive party for the people that have worked on this show for years behind the scenes. So they said to me, Steve, for every new subscriber we get in the next 30 days, can $1 be given to our celebration fund for the entire team? And I've agreed to the bet. So if you want to say thank you to the team behind the scenes at Diary of a CEO, all you've got to do is hit the subscribe button. So actually, this is the first time I'm going to tell you not to subscribe because it might end up costing me an awful...
Now understand that the average lifetime value of a subscriber on his channel is worth much more than $1 because a lot of people want to have their advertisement placed in front of his audience because it's literally entrepreneurs who would spend thousands of dollars just for a new software or something or a new client acquisition system and then have it as a tax write-off and it would just be a business expense to them. So although he's portraying it in a way that he's losing money for people subscribing, he is making money through this. And the reason why a lot of people will subscribe now is because he gives them a very good reason, and the natural conclusion inside their mind is, hey, I can actually do something very good if I actually subscribe to this YouTube channel. All these people can have a big celebration if I subscribe to his YouTube channel. And those are people who watch his content every single fucking day. So why wouldn't they, right? If they watch his content all the time, they would subscribe right fucking now. And if they wouldn't do it now, they would do it on the second example that I'm about to show you.
This has always blown my mind a little bit. 53% of you that listen to this show regularly haven't yet subscribed to the show. So could I ask you for a favor before we start? If you like the show and you like what we do here and you want to support us, the free, simple way that you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. And my commitment to you is if you do that, then I'll do everything in my power, me and my team, to make sure that this show is better for you every single week. We'll listen to your feedback, we'll find the guests that you want me to speak to, and we'll continue to do what we do. Thank you so much.
He's not telling people, oh, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, but he's actually telling them, hey, if you subscribe, I can make you a commitment, and that is that you can genuinely see better guests on here, and we will do everything to make this podcast even better. Understand that the people that he's addressing here, as he did in the beginning, are people who are watching his podcast anyway every single day, but haven't subscribed yet. So he's reaching out to these people because they are the most prone to actually subscribe to his YouTube channel because they consume his content anyway. And he can do it best by telling them, hey, you get something in return. I will make this podcast better, I will get more people on here, and I will be able to do this for the end of your life. The natural conclusion inside their mind is actually, hey, I can subscribe and I get a lot for it in return. And he uses that exact CTA in most of his YouTube videos, actually. By the way, in the beginning of this video, I actually mentioned that we scaled the world's #1 health school community to 80K a month. And I actually recorded a video where I broke down the exact personal branding strategy and marketing strategy in order to get that. So if you want to see that, it's probably going to be linked up here or up there. I don't know, just click on it.